What is up, guys? Welcome back to Millennial Hollywood Season 1, Episode 6. Today we are talking to very special guest Judy Kain about commercial acting, so stay tuned.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to Millennial Hollywood Season 1, Episode 6. We are so happy to be back for you guys, and today's guest has made a long-lasting career in commercial and television. She now owns and operates an amazing acting school, which I am a past student of and will be back soon.
All right.
Keep It Real Acting, and she also received the Backstage Reader's Choice Award in 2016 for her book titled I Booked It. So today we have Miss Judy Kain.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Dakota. This is great to be here.
Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
And where can everyone find you on social media?
Keep It Real Acting is our Twitter handle, and Keep It Real Acting is our Instagram handle.
All right, so
Yes.
Instagram has the G and Twitter has
That's
the N at the end. Awesome, and you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones. So for those of you watching back home and want to know more about Judy, she has made such an amazing career in commercial acting.
Very lucky.
Very lucky and very talented because, you know, you can't just get that off of luck. Like, you've worked hard to get here.
I have. Boy, when I started commercials 38 years ago, I was told that I was not a commercial type.
Really?
And back then, quite frankly, I wasn't. I had dark brown hair. I didn't look like I was from the Midwest. I looked like I was possibly ethnic and from New York. So I was not a commercial type. But I fought against it and really pursued the more comedic roles. And my first commercial took place in a nudist colony.
Yes.
And I was young at the time, so it was fine. But it took place in a nudist colony. And I remember calling my agent, and it was a national for Corning eyewear. I think the whole joke was that they went from light to dark. You never have to take them off. So that's why the nudist colony. But I called my agent and I said, so how much am I going to make on this? And she said to me, let me just give you a little piece of advice. The only thing you can count on is the session fee.
Wow.
And of course I was devastated and crushed, but I mean, I did well on that. And of course I've done well in the past, but really that is the only thing you can count on. You never know if they're going to run, how they're going to run,
exactly,
where they're going to run.
But that's so funny because you did talk about how you had to pretty much be a nothing. In the book, you've told us about that, and how there was like a moose or something behind you.
Oh yes,
that was supposed to cover your bums.
The final shot of the spot was me. I was Eve, and he was Adam, and we're walking off the nature trail, and there was a moose in the path, conveniently covering our buttocks, and at one shot he went away. He just walked off. Maybe saw a carrot or something, and so our little buttocks were exposed, and they actually used that on bloopers and bleepers for like 4 years. So
then you're thinking, oh, it's a close set, we're fine. They're not going to show that.
That's right. So anyway, that was fun.
Oh, that is so funny. Well, let's go ahead and get into your career. Something that I found out yesterday about that I was freaking out because I remember you from is Friends.
Oh, yes.
Which I was so excited. That's literally like my favorite show.
Okay.
And your character is so funny on that. We do have a video I want to show everyone.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so here's what, are you sure that I haven't seen you somewhere before?
Nope, I haven't been in any plays.
All right, well, let's try one whenever you guys are ready.
Noodle soup.
That's fine, but the line is, soup.
Oh, what'd I say?
Noodle soup.
How's that different? Oh, yeah.
All right, let's try one.
Noodle soup.
Okay, let's do it again.
Okay. Soup. I mean noodle soup. I mean soup.
You know what? We need to move on.
That is so great.
I know.
Oh my gosh. How long ago was that?
Oh boy, you're testing my memory here, Dakota. I have no idea.
It's so
really
funny though, because like I totally remember that, and I remember watching it with my family, and I was like, this is so funny. Like, this is, because I was like, at that time I was living in Missouri. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, like I want to go out there and be in auditions and be in LA. And then when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is stressful. And so I totally remember that episode.
Oh, because of the auditioning.
Yes.
Oh, that's so funny. That's
Which is so funny because in your classes at Keep It Real Acting,
Yes.
you are nothing like that woman, thank God, because
I'm a little nicer,
you're
right?
a lot nicer, yes.
Although I do play a lot of powerful, mean, I want to say the word, but I don't know if we can
Right.
on the
I know
show.
what you mean, yeah.
I just that is just a look that I have, and so I lean into that and get a lot of parts for that.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about this later, but you're always saying like find your castable self in your
Yes,
book.
absolutely.
And so you know that you fit some of those fun roles, and it's so great because a lot of people like you said in the book, I want to be like the leading man, and you're like
Right.
you got to be realistic in a sense where you want to brand yourself where people are going to want you, and like
Absolutely.
you may be able to work up into the main role.
Yes.
And I've always wanted to be like the leading man, but I see myself now more as like, oh, I'm like that funny friend or the comedic relief, and maybe after a while I could work my way up into like a leading man.
Once you establish yourself and people get to know you, then they're more apt to allow you to stretch and grow into this part. Charlize Theron, I played a myriad of lovely, beautiful, ingenue roles. And then she wanted to do Monster. There is no way that she would have been able to audition for that without proving herself first. They just wouldn't have considered her because, that was not her type. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's important to type yourself in the beginning, which is every actor just does not want to do that.
They don't want to do it. They don't want
Yeah.
to pigeonhole
No.
themselves into something. But it's like that right there that just giving up on the expectations of what you think and doing that for a while.
Yes.
That right there could lead to you getting a role.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of roles.
Yeah.
And then becoming known for that. And then once you're known, then you can branch out and do other things.
Definitely, because once you have somewhat of like a name in the business,
Yes.
they might be like, oh, we could try to call him in for this project. Oh, let's make sure. Oh, well, we can work with that.
Well, even you don't even have to be famous for it. I mean, it's just being known by casting and directors and producers know that you're a solid actor, know that you can do it. Then they know that you have range or even willing to see that you could do something else.
Right.
Otherwise, they're just leery. They don't have time. Let's just go with the spot on, because you know, Dakota, that when you walk into a lobby for an audition for, let's say, a construction worker, and you think, oh, I'm perfect for this. I'm so rugged. And
Yeah.
You walk in, and there's 80 people that look just like you.
I know. It's
So-
crazy. Yeah, and a lot of times when I've been in for auditions, there might be like 15 to 20 people at that time, because they have different time periods, guys, where people will come in throughout the day. But recently, for this one audition I went on, there were like maybe 100 people stuck in this little room, and I don't think they'd planned it out very well, because they had multiple roles auditioning, and there was just like so many people. And for the first time ever in the audition, they had like all types of people. Like from what I've been in on, it's like I go in and I'm like, oh, that guy kind of looks like me, that guy kind of looks like me.
Right.
They had all types of different people going in for the same role as I was going in, which
Well,
was different. I've
yes.
never experienced that before.
And that shows good casting, because they want to offer the director and the client options
Yeah.
on the role. Here's a way I see it. Here's another way to go. And sometimes you're in the lobby and you're not looking like the rest of the people, and actors always say this: what am I doing here? Why did my agent send me up for
Yeah.
this? But it was the casting director who saw something in you that you could play it.
Right.
I often go up for male roles.
Wow.
Not that I look like a male, but but that I could be considered for this role, like a CEO, or
Yeah.
sometimes a therapist. They'll be leaning towards a man, but they'll also bring a couple women in. I'll often go in for that.
So when you walk in, they'll be like, oh, Judy's here. They're gonna make the character a woman.
Oh, I
she's here to
wish.
book it.
I wish.
Well, I do want to talk about also The Odd Couple, which you play Maureen. We have this lovely photo here at the diner. That is so funny, and I love that character so much, because she's always like the comedic relief and kind of just the
Yeah,
funny.
she's snarky.
Yeah.
She is really snarky. She's not a happy camper. But that was by far and away. I loved working on that show. The cast was amazing. I love sitcoms
Yeah.
because you rehearse during the week and then you tape it in front of a live audience. audience, and it's just so gratifying.
Yeah.
You know, it's like doing a little mini play. And
Yeah.
of course, I love comedy, and it was a great character, and they gave me a lot of good stuff to do. So
That's fun, and you get to feed off the audience because
Yes,
that's so
absolutely.
exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to a taping of Young and Hungry today because we do the after show here, and so we got invited by the creator, and I just love being in the audience. But I'm like, can I just get out there on stage real quick?
Get a backstage
Yes,
pass.
I know. But and the next photo we have is you from Jane the Virgin,
Oh, that
which was
was-
such a funny spot right there. Whenever
She slapped me.
she
Yeah.
just slapped you so hard,
She did. She slapped me.
and you were trying to be so gracious.
Yes,
you know?
yes. I was trying to sell the hotel next door.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. That was
Oh, my
fun. They were so nice on that set. Oh my God, the whole crew, everybody. I was floored at how so grateful. They're all so grateful for the work and
Yeah.
the job, and it's a great show.
That's
Great,
awesome.
great
I know
crew.
that show has taken off, and a lot of people love it so
Yes.
much. Yes. And so let's go ahead and start getting back into commercials because in your class I've taken, it was called the A to Z.
Well, did you take the A to
Or
Z
no,
or the advanced?
Advanced. I took the
callback. Yeah.
Yes, the advanced callback.
Yeah.
And then you also have the one A to Z, which is
Right.
like
The
for
precursor to
basics.
that is the A to Z commercial class, which teaches you everything from A to Z about commercial auditions, every type of commercial audition you'll ever go on. Each week we cover in detail techniques that will work for each type of commercial audition. So it's very, very comprehensive. A lot of good tips and techniques to use that will help you book the job, certainly stand out in a good way.
Yeah.
And then the advanced callback class is great because I created so that, and I hope you felt this, that it's like a callback because
Yeah.
I do have a casting office or casting associate in every week, some industry professional, which makes it a little, you get the nerves going.
Yes,
and
you do.
but that's the actor's biggest challenge is
Yeah.
how do I do this? How do I use my techniques, do all this stuff, and deal with the nerves and still do a good performance so that I book the job? So I have to recreate that kind of situation so that I can see what the actor is doing to sort of help them combat it and overcome it and do a good job. I love that class.
It is so
I
much
love it.
fun.
Yeah.
I was so excited to be there, and just every week it was just something new. And
Mm-hmm.
I love how some of the commercials, you really challenge us with some of the wording. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like some of these commercials when they're asking you to. What was it? There was one that I remember, and I saw the commercial the other day, and I was
Oh,
like,
you
I
did?
did this. I rehearsed with the script. It was like the Liberty Mutual new car replacement or
Right.
something.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so I was like mouthing the words as I was watching this commercial. But some of those things, they you have to, like, there are sell the product, but then you have to also be yourself and make it your own. But you have to hit these certain points.
Yes.
And so it really taught me, because I'm more of like a theatrical actor, like going in, I've done more of that, and so going in and being like, okay, I need to hit these marks and also make sure I get this tagline correctly. That was a challenge, but it was so much fun, and I thought it was just, I don't know, just learning how to do that and having one more thing like on my side in the sense like, oh, now I know how to do that. So helpful.
It is helpful, and the more you can approach it as an acting scene, as it is a theatrical scene or a comedic scene, or breaking it down just the way you would any script. Really, it does require that of you, so that you, because it's like cup of soup acting. It's so fast, It's the transitions are fast. The launching into it is fast. The buttons fast. Everything's very quick. So if you don't have the ability to break it down and understand this is a beat, this is where I change. Oh, I'm hopeful here. Oh, what would be the next thing that I would say after this? Let me
Yeah.
button it. It is nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It is, and then there's a room full of people there who are all looking at you, hoping you're going to do a good job. But if you don't, they feel uncomfortable, and the next thing out of their mouth is "Thank you."
Right, thanks. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
maybe
lucky
not
if you
even
have
have a
that.
great
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so everyone knows commercials, but I think that what people forget is the fact that they have to take everything that they're trying to convey and put it down usually into like 30 seconds.
Yes.
And so something where you had quite a bit of dialogue and there was a lot going on. We're getting ready to show. It was the SDCCU Cash Rewards Visa commercial. So funny, and I'd love to watch this.
Oh my God.
Money!
So, how are we big bankers doing? Is it because of SDCCU's new 1% cash rewards visa? Or that they don't limit cash rewards like some do?
Keep your money with our new Cash Rewards Visa. Apply at sdccu.com.
Have you considered lowering your fees?
He falls back. Was that planned when he falls back?
No, it was not. He just fell back.
I was gonna say that looks so.
No,
like,
he totally fell back, and yeah, that was an organic moment, and they kept it. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Have you considered lowering your fees?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
that was a fun spot. I ended up doing a bunch of voiceovers for them too, for that
Wow.
same, yeah.
So like you got called in for that, and then afterwards you were like,
Yeah.
well, hey, here we go.
Yeah, they hired me like for a couple years doing,
Wow.
yeah, it's
That's
good.
so awesome because a lot of people think, okay, one and done, and a lot of times that is the case. But sometimes you're able to work with these people. You just create a great reputable view
Rapport.
of yourself.
Something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And exactly, that's what I was trying to get at. And people will notice you, like you said, casting will notice you, or they might call you back for the same thing, or say, oh, you're perfect for this.
Absolutely. No, if you are out there auditioning and you're getting callbacks, already you're on the casting's radar if you're getting callbacks, because you think about it, they pull you in off your little thumbnail. Then when you come back on the sheet from the director as having a callback, your name and your photo are coming back through there. And then if you're put on a veil, then they're actually calling your agent and speaking to them about you. So that's all on their radar. And believe me, that it is their job to remember. So all those things are, they're much more apt to call you in if you are going to be a callback getter, because it's going to make them look good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how you develop. And then the more I talk about this in my book, and also my new book coming out called Business of Acting.
You have a new one.
I do.
That's so exciting.
I do.
That's so fun.
About staying in touch with people and maintaining the relationship so that it doesn't just dry up. And then you're like, why don't they call me in anymore?
Right.
I used to go in for all the time. Why am I not going in anymore? Yeah, because have you stayed in touch? Have you popped in?
Definitely.
All commercial casting directors, they are not behind like a security gate, like a lot, a studio lot. They are accessible. So, I'm not saying everybody go out today and go drop into your commercial casting offices. But, if you have something to share with them, or you happen to bake some cookies that day, or, drop by. It doesn't hurt. Just a little drop by. Hi, I just wanted to give you this, and then you're ready to leave. It's perfect.
Yeah. Don't stay too long.
Don't stay too long.
Because that's something that I always thought maybe I shouldn't do that. And so whenever you were telling the class, like, just go in, drop by, be very quick, don't be loitering around or anything. Just go there, introduce yourself, say hi, and then leave. And then they're thinking of you, and if they see your photo later, they're like, oh yeah, that was nice of them. They weren't
Absolutely.
pushy, they just were saying hi and came in. And
I always say, if you're carrying something and you're walking down the hallway, no one's going to stop you, because they're all hoping it's for them.
yeah, that's right.
So, just the other day, my son booked a Taco Bell.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
So he got one of those edible arrangements, with the fruit, and so we were walking down the hall with it, and all the eyes turn, and you walk in, and everybody looks, and everybody's hoping it's for them.
Right.
So we hit a couple of offices just to say hello. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Just a little drop by. That's all. Hi, how you doing? Do you know my son? Yes, I do. He just booked a Taco Bell. Da, 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 da. Nice to see you, and we're gone.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very classy and a lot of people, I think, don't do that because they're afraid, or they're thinking, oh, I don't know what they're gonna think.
Right.
But just being confident and walking in, and it'll almost make them be like, oh wow, like they're in charge type of a thing. They're not like, hi, I wanted to just drop in, because that's not going to do anything.
No, I think it's most helpful if you have something to give them, i.e. a present, great, thank you, perfect. If you didn't book anything and you're like, well, I just didn't book anything, what do I do? I just wanted to show you my new headshots, or I just signed with this agent, or here's my new look. If you have some information to give them, I think it's perfect. It's a perfect reason to go by.
Definitely. I love that. And then lastly, here on this other commercial, this was one that you did for a while. I don't know if you did a
this is
superhero
my favorite.
hotline. Yeah, I don't know if you've done this you shot them all in one day.
I did. I shot 25 spots in one day.
No way.
Yep, all of them.
Well, let's check this one out.
Superhero Hotline, what's your emergency? There's a lizard running through your school, huh? And that's not your school mascot, correct? Oh, you're the Panthers. Like a cougar. Rawr. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Iron Man's on vacation. Batmobile's in the shop. Oh, you know what? I will have Spider-Man swing by. Superhero Hotline. A dude in the desert? Yeah. Doing what? Are you sure you're not at Burning Man, fella? Yeah, well, keep your shirt on. Sure. We can send someone to check it out. Why not? Meantime, don't eat any more mushrooms, okay? Always getting strangest calls.
And this
from
little
the
button
desert.
at the end.
Why is that? Oh, that was nice.
That is my favorite. Oh, that turned out nice. Like,
You know, it's funny because I thought when I booked it, I thought I was doing 4 spots. So I was prepared for 4 spots. And then the day I was flying to shot in Denver, and the day I was flying out, I was printing. They had sent me the scripts or something. So I was printing it out, and it kept coming out and coming out. And I'm like, what's happening? There were 25 spots, and I was freaking out.
I bet.
I was freaking out. So I spent the next day in my hotel room just going through and finding little things. Like I added a lot of stuff. The cards, there was one where I was filing my nails. I was eating in one.
With the little lunch box.
Little lunch box, yeah. I asked him for a lot of props and just some things because I figure, if you're a receptionist at a desk, no one sees you. It's just your voice, so you could be doing really anything.
Yeah.
So one that they didn't use, which I just loved, I was spinning around in the chair.
That's amazing.
Which I thought was very funny. But yeah, it was super fun, and I added a lot of buttons and a lot of stuff, and they loved it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is so much fun. Well, let's go ahead. Well, let's talk about buttons. I want to get into talking about your book. I
Okay.
booked it, The Commercial Actor's Handbook.
Yay.
Which I love. It's so helpful, especially when you're out there auditioning. I mean, bring it in the car, like if you have some time before auditions.
Yep.
Or just to refresh your memory. I know, I think I saw a photo that you'd posted one time where you were at an audition.
Yes.
And there was a guy in the corner just like
Yes.
reading your book.
Yes. It was like a moment that you hope for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was standing there and I went, what? Oh my God. And I took a picture of it. And I actually knew the guy, but it was hysterical. He had taken the class, but he brought the book.
He brought the book. You're like, hey, remember me?
Very funny.
That is so funny. Well, in the book, I wanted to touch on some of the things you said. So buttons. A lot of people, maybe if they are, from Missouri or from somewhere far away, they
Right.
may not know exactly what a button is.
A button is the next thing that you would say after the last scripted line of dialogue. So whatever the scripted line of dialogue is, if life didn't stop, at the end of that page, what might you say? I like to limit it to 3 words or less. So, so it's short, sweet, it's not too intrusive, but it really is the next thing you would say. I was teaching last night, and I was just going over this. A great way to come up with buttons is to brainstorm, and I think we talked about this. It's like, let's say it takes place in an airport. Well, what are things that you would see at an airport, or things that you would say at an airport, or things that you would hear being said at an airport? And those are perfect material for buttons there. Where's your boarding pass, or I have a carry-on, or just things like that are short and sweet are a perfect button for the situation, because you're already there, and then it just sort of gives you more life to move on to. And I think that buttons book jobs, in my opinion. Certainly in the callback room, they're all sitting there. They've seen a bunch of people. They're probably hungry. They want to laugh.
Yeah.
You keep some life going. They've heard the copy 80 million times, so they're well aware of what the words are. So a little something that you add can lighten the room. It can just, you leave and they're like, wow, I liked her. I liked what she did, because you made it come alive. You brought your personality to it.
Right.
Added a little something, and I think that really makes a difference.
Right.
Because ultimately, let's be honest, probably everybody that comes in for the callback well, let's see, almost everybody could do the job. They could.
Yeah.
So how are they going to decide?
Not only that, but the fact that a lot of people don't take creative risks and they just kind of go with the copy, which, sure, you got to memorize the copy, but you always kind of, like you say, is there any room for comedy? Or,
Right.
Do we need to stick to it, or can we kind of make
Right,
it
can
our
I have
own?
fun with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you're bold enough to ask that, because a lot of people, like, they go in, they're nervous, they try to be likable, and then they give their performance, they do exactly what it has on the script, and then they leave and they're thinking, sure, like you said, they could do this role, but there's maybe not something there that brings it to life. And a
Right.
simple button, something 3 words, could really make a difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It lightens up the room. Last night, you mentioned you come in the room, you're I think actors, the biggest trap is they want to play it safe. They have in their mind an idea of what they want for the spot, and it always sort of leans toward this like commercial thing, which is not what they want. They want you. They want you to lift it off the page. So I think, always the second take, the redirect is always, just relax with it. Make it more conversational. Just be a little bit more you. And it's always much better. And they feel better. And everybody's like, oh, that was good. Otherwise, it's like everybody's, I'm going to use that word again, buttocks is clenched. You know what I mean? It's just a little tight.
I know, everyone's just like,
Yeah, a
this
little
is,
tight.
yeah, and they want to see you have fun.
Yeah.
I do notice a lot of casting directors, they're a little bit more serious, whatever. They have like this kind of aura
Sure.
about them. But I think on the inside, they're just wanting to see someone that makes them want to laugh.
Yes.
And I think once you figure that out as an actor and be like, all right, I need to just have fun and realize that they are just normal people, and
They
we're
are.
we're all trying to be here for the greater good.
Yes.
And sure, they might have a little bit more of like a aura about them where they're kind of holding themselves higher than everyone else, but go to their level and just have fun and treat them like normal people.
But Dakota, they are under the pressure of the director and the production company. So the production company and the director are like, you got to get me some good people. So then the casting director turns to the actors and you got to be good for me, So that's what it is. And then the client is going, where are these people? So it's all trickled down.
That's true.
It just happens to end with us.
It ends with us, and we're just sitting there like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But going back to finish off with like the buttons, I remember in your class there was one moment where I was supposed to be like an annoyed cashier, and so I was taking things and like putting them in the bag or ringing
Right.
things up.
Yes.
And at the very end, like I was just kind of annoyed, like I was over it in one of the takes that we'd done, and I was supposed to just be like, okay, like get out of my face type of thing. And at the very end, I'm like, you can go. Like, and it's just that moment right there. Most people wouldn't think to add
Exactly.
something. And that right there made everyone laugh, and it was because it would have been what was the next thing that came out of my mouth if I was like that.
Yeah, that was the Peyton Manning thing, right?
Yes,
when he was,
it
yeah.
was.
Right, where you didn't know who he was.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can go.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
you.
Exactly. And that's how you do it. That's how you do it. And it usually happens, people say, well, I took the 4-week class. Well, you got to practice.
Mm-hmm.
It takes practice. It takes doing it till it becomes second nature and it's really in you.
Mm-hmm.
Just comes out and you have a great time.
Definitely. And another thing I wanted to touch on was headshots, because
Okay.
in your book, I really like how it talks about being natural. Like, sure, you want to take some good photos,
Right.
but like you said, for ladies, do your own makeup, because if you
Yes.
have someone who is there, like a stylist or a makeup artist who's there, they're not going to do your makeup how you would usually do it.
Right.
And then whenever someone calls you in, they're going to be like, this is not the person I called in.
Right.
Who is this person?
Exactly. No, it's always better to do if you're really, really unskilled at makeup, go and have it done, but please do it naturally. The whole tone of everything now is natural. It's real. It's almost a little messy is better. Perfectly coiffed is not really in anymore. So, do your own makeup and hair, and it shouldn't be too perfect. It should look natural and real. Like they literally want to think that they found you at the farmer's market or shopping at Trader Joe's. They want to feel like you're a real person.
Right.
They really don't want to think you're an actor, but they want you to act.
Isn't that funny?
Yes.
Everyone wants you to be like, I don't want people to think they're an actor, but I want them to act. It's
Yes.
like, why can't we just call ourselves actors?
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know. We have a bad rap. That's all.
I guess so. But I do like how you said to make it natural, and like, maybe if there's a stray hair, you can get rid of it, or if there's a pimple, anything that's temporary,
Right.
fix that. But if anything else, keep it, because that is you, and you want, when you come in, them to be like, that's who I clicked the photo to add to.
Absolutely. And the most common thing is wrinkles,
Yeah.
which you don't have that problem yet, Dakota. But yes, as you grow older, you have wrinkles, and that shows age, which is appropriate if you are that age. So the big mistake to blow them out, because then you're going to be called in for younger, and then you're going to get there, and it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So why do it?
Right.
Go lean into whatever it is that you are and embrace it and book it.
Because in the end, if you're all wrapped up about, oh, well, I want to look like this, but then when you get there, they can't use you. You want to book it,
Well,
so
and
you want to be who
you're
you are.
going to
and-
upset the casting person as well, because
They
they're
may
like,
not wanna ask you back.
they're going to call your agent and go, I can't bring this person. You can't submit this person. She's clearly 55. She's not 30.
And they're using a photo from back then, or
exactly.
all dolled up
all,
and everything.
all blown out.
Oh, definitely. And then another thing, wardrobe. I have a little section here. You say, choose the right outfit to wear. Students often ask if you can go too far for a commercial audition. And I say loudly, no, go all the way with the waitress outfit.
Yes.
And I love that, because a lot of people play it safe. And I know reading that, it kind of reminded me, whenever I'm going in and they say, very casual, don't go up in like a button up with my shirt tucked in and
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
Because that can add to the character.
Absolutely, and there's certain things. I mean, I think that wardrobe is not exactly the most important thing. Your approach to the copy is more important, but it helps you. It helps you if you have the outfit on, but find certain things that work. Like if you have a blue shirt, blue button up that works, that looks good on camera, just wear that for your, little upscale casual look. That's it. That's don't go to the closet and go, what should I wear today? Because you're going to pick something that doesn't look good on camera, that doesn't look good on you. And it's just to keep to have 2 or 3 things that you wear, and that's it. Keep them clean and just pick from that.
Nothing too crazy, like nothing that's going to have a bunch of like different stripes or things that if the camera hits, it's going to be distracting.
And if you take a class and you're on camera, the teacher can say, that's not it, or yes, that's a perfect top. Then you book, you box. What am I trying to say? You keep that as your outfit. And then if go to a thrift store if you need a nurse's outfit, or you need scrubs, or you need a waitress outfit, or get those things, a cop outfit, whatever it is that you get called in for. Go pick them up at a thrift store and have them.
Yeah. And I think just that extra step, obviously the wardrobe is not the most important part.
No.
Just making the extra step and then bringing it to the audition.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, wow, this person had a button. They have this awesome wardrobe that makes you
look like
like
the part,
it. They look the part,
so
yeah.
that's all they see is the director and the client sees, oh wow, they look like a cop.
Yeah. And you
Well, I
and you
didn't at
said-
home, but now I
And I remember you said something like, never go too far to where you look like a cop. Like look like a cop, but don't look like you're someone trying to be a cop. If that
Exactly.
makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. And it doesn't apply to theatrical auditions. You should not go that far for a theatrical audition, which
Yeah.
is really odd, but you should not dress as a waitress. You should just allude to it.
Yeah, which I've always wondered what is that
I
that
don't
makes
know.
it like that, because it could be helpful.
I don't
You'd
know.
think, but I guess not.
No, I think they feel it's too desperate. But commercials, it's fine and encouraged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely noticed in auditioning for commercials that they always are looking for me to kind of be out there or bring something that's not necessarily in the script, but they'd like me to add it. Type of
Oh,
like,
yes.
and like you talk about sticking to the script or not, and sometimes they'll be like, you know what, actually, just kind of paraphrase.
Yep.
Which is always interesting because that throws some actors through the loop because they've
Yep.
memorized it so hardcore, and then to go and try to paraphrase, they have a hard time with that.
Absolutely. And it really does show that the person doesn't really know what they're saying.
Yeah.
That they haven't really, digested what it is. But yeah, absolutely. You have to be able to move off the script. Not so far, but be able to make it your own and add some stuff that just a word or two here or there really, believe me, shows your personality.
Definitely. Yeah, and something that I thought was so much fun in your class was whenever we did the the MOS, which you said stands for
Mit out sound. It's a German word.
yes, and basically no sound. You're not supposed to have any lines or anything.
Well, yeah, there's no dialogue.
Yeah, there's no dialogue. You can make a few sounds.
I say
kind of.
sounds are free words in an MOS spot. So sounds are fine. And I even sometimes include like a wow or, huh.
Yeah.
I consider, or oops,
Yeah.
consider
And
that
you're like,
sound.
that's free.
That's
range,
free. That's free. But you don't want to have, well, for example, I think we did this MOS in class where you're walking through a grocery store and all of a sudden you notice two guys fighting, right? Did we do this one?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Maybe.
Two guys fighting over there, and you're supposed to just react and see it. But it helps if you're like, oh, that's,
Yeah.
where's the manager? And then just go off, because otherwise it does feel like all of a sudden you do start to mug, you do start to show people what you're feeling. You don't want that. You
don't
want
want
to,
that.
no, you want to stay real. But sounds seem to really help. And
Yeah.
it's little light words.
Yes, little light words. I know that there's 2 auditions I wanted to tell you about that I've been on.
Oh.
One of them was for like an amusement park, and I was supposed to be in a like a roller coaster with like 4 other people that they'd kind of thrown me with.
Okay.
And everyone was like, oh my gosh,
Right.
trying to be like, we don't have lines, I'm supposed to be quiet. And I was the only one that was like, oh, like just
Right.
having fun. And,
Yeah.
and then everyone kind of looked at me and they're like, oh, and then they started going on it too. And it's like, you don't necessarily have to be mute.
Right.
You have to react, because then they're over there like doing the most, being crazy, being extra.
Well, it's really hard to be on a roller coaster and not scream.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So absolutely, scream away.
Scream away. And then the other one, I did tell you about this, I believe. I went to an audition for a PSA for against like tobacco or smoking, and they had everyone like using the same vapor type of thing.
Oh, you
and
did
so
tell me this.
They,
Oh my
they,
God.
they weren't wiping it off in between, and the guy in front of me said, yo, I am so sorry, they're not wiping this off. I'm getting ready to go to the hospital because I am so sick. So be careful, because I might be contagious, and they're not wiping it off, and I'm literally going to the hospital right now because I just ran by for this audition real quick. And he looked awful. He wasn't trying to throw me off or anything. He looked awful, like he was going to the
my.
hospital. And so I'm in here, like, as he's trying to explain everything to me, I'm like wiping it off on my little shirt, like, what am I supposed to do? Because they're like, take a big puff and blow it out. And it was so awful. And so the whole time I'm like trying to like have a good audition, but also trying not to die
Wow.
because I
Yeah.
don't want to catch anything.
Yeah.
That-
I can't even speak to that. That's
No.
just crazy.
I know.
That's just insane. Yeah, they
That's
should
not
call
good.
SAG immediately.
Yes.
Is really what I would have
Right.
done. I would have called SAG immediately.
I'm like, they're not wiping
Yeah.
this off in
There
between.
needs to be a rep down here.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yes. But in the class, we've talked about doing like the secondary actions, which is something as simple as maybe, like you said, like when you were cast, you were doing like the cards. Sometimes
Right.
you're maybe not able to bring in a deck of cards to an
Right.
audition, but having something as simple as maybe rolling up your shirt or
Right.
something
Putting
like
some
that.
earrings on, or looking for your keys in your bag, or texting somebody, or getting a phone call, or just like life stuff.
Yeah.
It really helps ground you, and most of the action honestly takes place from the waist, so you can't even see it, from the waist down.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't even see it necessarily on camera, but you're doing something. And it involves you, and all of a sudden the words aren't as important.
Mm-hmm.
They come out more naturally, just organically. It's a really good technique.
Definitely. I love that, because I know that a lot of people might feel like they're in a box. They're supposed to stay in the frame, and you are supposed to stay in the frame, but
Yes.
they feel like they can't move. They're supposed to stand there, deliver it, and then leave.
Yeah.
But having that secondary action has helped me feel more natural, like, oh, and you think, oh, are they going to be like, why are you rolling up your cuffs, or why can't you just stop and do it like to the camera? But they want to see you be more comfortable.
Absolutely.
And even a small secondary action can really make you look more natural. And
Yeah,
make them wanna pick you.
men can, their back pockets, see if they have their wallet. You guys do that all the time. Or, women certainly have their purse, or put an earring on, or, brushing there's just stuff to do. It
Yeah.
just depends upon the spot, what's appropriate. But Absolutely, really helps. Absolutely helps.
Definitely. But you have to make sure that it goes with what you are
Yes.
supposed to be doing, or the setting. Like, you're not,
Yes.
like, if you're sitting in an office talking to your boss, you're not going to be sitting there combing your hair.
Combing your
or-
hair.
Right. So you have to make sure, guys, your secondary action goes
Right.
with the script in a sense.
Coordinates, yes, absolutely.
And lastly, let's talk about your class. It's called, or your workshop is Keep It Real Acting.
Keep It Real Acting Studios. Yes, we're in North Hollywood. I've been teaching commercials for over 20 years, but this studio is about 5 years old, and we've won a lot of awards. Myself and many of the other teachers who teach there. We have commercial classes, we have theatrical classes, we have improv classes, we have kids commercial classes as well, and some business of acting, branding classes, headshot classes, things that help the actor move their career along. Everything is taught by people who are working in the industry, which is kind of I must see that they're working fiercely in the industry and passionate about what they do, because I don't want this to be a place where people come where the teacher's bitter because they're not working anymore. So and we're giving you information that's current, because we've all just been out on audition that week. So we're giving you information that's current and pertinent to you to help you. So I love it. I mean, it's really not like work at all.
Yeah.
It's great to go to the office, and I have great staff who really know what they're doing, and they're all working now too, which is fantastic.
That's
because
awesome.
they've all
Yeah.
taken the classes.
Exactly. That's right. And I love how you do hire people who are currently in the industry
Yes.
doing it right now, because
Yes.
the cool thing is and when you go to your class, you're like, oh, Judy just did this, this, and this. She's on The Odd Couple. She's doing this. And it shows that you are in the mix and are in what's current.
Yes.
So you can be like, oh, well, now they're doing this.
Right.
Because some people might be teaching something that happened like 5-10 years ago, but then now there's different techniques. And
Yes.
you're like, oh, well, they're starting to do this. I've noticed this trend, so maybe you can be on top of it.
And it's true. I've seen different trends even within the last year.
Yeah.
So it's important, I feel important to pass that information on, because, I don't know, I came out here, it was so green. I was so green. I was from Milwaukee. I didn't know. And, I had to figure it out all myself. So anything I can do to help somebody, I really feel good about myself.
That's awesome. And I do love the aspect of bringing in industry professionals to watch the class, like the advanced callback one, especially just being there and knowing this person is a casting director or runs sessions and is going to be there watching me as I'm going in to deliver this. And it's all on camera.
All
which
of our
is
classes are on camera.
Great.
Yeah.
Which is something that I guess I didn't realize until I got there.
Oh, really?
Because like I've told Judy, but I was literally signing the contract with Studio Talent Group, which is my agency. And he's like, well, we need to get you into a commercial acting class. And he's like, you know what? Let me just get Judy on the phone. And so literally I'm sitting there signing the contract, and they're like, okay, so can you make it right now? Like literally you have to be there in an hour and a half. And it's 5 o'clock traffic, and I'm in Santa Monica.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
like, can you get to North Hollywood in an hour and a half? And I was just like, yeah, because I wanted to show like I'm ready to do this. I didn't want to be like, well, it's kind of, I have plans. I'll put it off till the next one.
And I really respect that.
Thank you.
I really respect that. No, that was fantastic that you
Thank
did
you.
that. I think somebody had just dropped, and so we had a
okay.
spot. And I love Phil. I love Phil Brock.
Yes.
And so I remember you coming in. I thought, that is a committed actor.
Thank you.
No, and that makes a difference. How you approach your career, how committed you are to your career, how willing you are. I mean, there's actors out there who, I talk to the agents, they're in a slump. They haven't booked in, a year. Well, come get in a class. Put your ego aside, take a class, have some fun, figure out what it is, or maybe you just need a big boost of confidence.
Yeah.
Because that's sometimes what most people get out of the advance. Oh, you know what? I am doing a good job. I am doing. And they walk in differently.
Definitely.
The one thing that you can smell in a room is need. If you're needy at all, like you need a job, it just smells. It just does, and you don't want to have that. You just don't want to have that. So how do you get rid of that? Get some confidence.
Get
Take
some
a class.
confidence, have fun.
Yeah.
And I think having fun will kind of make some of that neediness kind of go away or take a back seat.
Absolutely.
Because,
And know that you're good.
Yeah.
Trust and know that you're good. That all of a sudden then you're like, well, you know what? I'm good. I don't need their approval.
Yeah.
It's just very subliminal, but believe me, the camera, it just picks up everything.
Definitely. I do want to say, though, ever since signing with my new agency and taking your classes, I've had so many more auditions, and I've been so much more confident in going in for commercial auditions.
That's awesome.
Because I originally had went out more for theatrical, but commercials are just so fun, and I've been getting more calls for those. So now, going into it in a mindset to where I've been taught all these techniques and everything, going in, it's really, really helped me. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Such a fun class. And then you also do have an app.
Oh,
which
yes.
I use
Oh, it's
before
great.
auditions, and kind of run through what that is and how
It's
people
called the
can get that.
Commercial Worksheet. That literally you can get it on any of the app stores or app places. Commercial Worksheet, and it basically breaks down. It's you answer certain questions about the spot that you're going in for. You can name the spot. You can put the button that you're going to do for the spot in there, and then save it. So I like to look back at it when I get a call back
Right.
and go, what did I do for this? It just breaks it down. Who am I talking to? What do I want? Where am I? What is my point of view? What is launching me into the copy? What's making me say that first line of dialogue, and what's my button? I think that's basically it. And just that basic will set you apart from the rest of the auditionees. Trust me.
It really will. I did a audition for, I think, Comedy Central, funny little spot, and I was supposed to just be like a student. And I won't give out too much because I'm sure the commercial's not out yet, and they're not going to want anyone to talk about it. But I just thought about like an old funny teacher that I had who was like a kind of a cool teacher who maybe
Right.
was more cool than was a teacher type of a thing. And it was like a spot where we were kind of rivals in a little thing in the classroom. And so I went through and like, what do you want? And I'm like, to win the video game that we're playing in class.
Exactly.
Or like, what are you doing playing against my teacher when I should be taking a test?
There you go.
And just going through and hitting those marks and like what launches you in the copy. I just scored, but it's getting tough. You know what I mean? Like just knowing those things is so helpful, and so it makes it feel more real to you and to them watching.
Well, and it grounds you. Because otherwise, then, if you don't have choices, or you're not digging out some information, some ways to do it, then you're just reading the words. I don't know. I think it's too competitive.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I know it's too competitive out there to just read the words and try to book the job. So why not increase your chances? Make
Right.
some choices. You're sitting in the lobby anyway.
Right.
You're gonna be
I know.
in the lobby for a while.
You're going to be waiting.
So make some choices.
Yes.
Yeah.
And another thing that also that you've taught in your class is the more improv-y auditions. Because that is what I've gone on for. I mean, there's like 2 or 3 recently that I've gone on where they're just like, just give us something where this is kind of the premise, but you're wanting to get this and you're talking to them, just go for it. And a lot of people might freeze up and be like, well, this isn't what I prepared with, or I thought I was going to be doing a monologue or this or that.
Right.
And having that in your back pocket and being able to whip it out and be like, okay, and then just coming alive and doing it.
Yep.
If you are able to drop everything and just give them 110% of whatever they're wanting and just come up with something random,
Yes.
they're going to be like, wow, that's a valuable asset the person has.
Improv is a ridiculously important skill for commercials. And I've done a lot of improv for theatrical lately as well. So yeah, it's a very important skill, something you have to be comfortable with. And if you're not, and it's just not your thing, that's okay. Just your agent shouldn't have set you out for those things.
Yes.
But if you are and you can, it's very important, and definitely be comfortable with it. Even if they don't ask, I would have some improv available.
Definitely. And then kind of wrapping this up, what is something that maybe you haven't accomplished yet that you would love to accomplish in the future?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, I have been the Stars spot, and I had one other spot where I was where I had a campaign, so to speak. But I want a commercial campaign before I die. I want a big commercial campaign.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to be Flo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just have billboards and
Yeah,
be all over the place.
Yes. No, I'd like a campaign. That would be fantastic.
That would be so much fun.
be great.
And any kind of upcoming shows or commercials that you can
Well,
talk
I'm on the
about?
Fosters. I'm
Yes.
recurring on the Fosters. We're shooting season 5 right now. I play Lauren, the school board president, and I'm not Well, I mean, I certainly think I'm doing the right thing, but everybody thinks I'm mean.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I
That's
have
so
to watch
fun.
for that.
Yeah, and they actually have the Foster's after show here.
Oh,
and
they
whenever
do?
your episode comes around, you should let me know, and I can see if you could get on the after show and
Well,
give them.
I absolutely will, but I think they're streaming season 4 now, correct?
Okay, so it'll be a while before the next one comes out.
Before season, well, I'm in season 4.
Okay.
I'm in 3 or 4 episodes in season 4, but season 5 we're shooting now. I just did one the other night.
That's so much
Yeah,
fun. I can't wait to see it. That is a show that I have watched some of the episodes, but I'm waiting
great
until I
show.
can finish another show.
Yes.
And then now I'm gonna start on and fully watch all the
It's
episodes.
a great binge watch show.
Yes.
It's really
definitely.
a great binge show.
And then how can everyone order the book? I booked it.
You can go to the website, keepitrealacting.com, and it's there, available there, or you can go to Amazon and just type in I booked it. I do believe there's a book called You Booked It, so don't get confused.
Don't get that one.
The purple one. Go with the purple
Go
one.
with the purple one. That's right. And so anyone can get the app. But for those of you in the Los Angeles area, they just go to keepitrealacting.com for classes.
Yes, keepitrealacting.com. We're on Lancashire and Riverside. You can pop in the office. People do it all the time. We're happy to help you find the class that works for you.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Guys, take it from me. It is an amazing class, and I've just taken one of the many classes that they offer. So much fun, so much insight, and you might have an idea of like what you think you're going to get into. There's so much more information that's given to you, so valuable when you're going into auditions. So,
It is.
Again, thank you so much for
you're
coming
welcome.
in.
Thank
and
you.
Yes, where can everyone find you again on social media?
Keep It Real Actin' on Twitter, and Keep It Real Acting is our Instagram.
All right, and you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will be back next week for Season 1, Episode 7.
I have to show them that I have cute hair today.
You have voluminous hair. Thank you for coming in, and again, we will talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.